Answer to that.
Okay.
We know that.
Okay. Well. Okay. So that makes me think. So there's these ideas of like modern relationships, traditional relationships. Do you guys consider yourself a traditional couple, a modern couple, or a mixture of the two? And what? Why would you say that?
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, well, I know we ain't traditional. I'll just put it that way. I don't necessarily know what modern means. I just know we kind of got our own thing going. So whatever you want to call that, I
Yeah.
just know it's not traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So modern maybe, but even some moderns, I'm like, we ain't that either. But I just know we not traditional. We kind of created our own rules, whatever,
Right.
Yeah.
however you want to define that.
Right.
Right. And
Yeah.
something that's been kind of like the hallmark of our relationship is that, like, obviously we was doing things on our own terms. We weren't feeling like we were beholden to, like, we supposed to be this at this point. We supposed to have this conversation at this point. We supposed to talk on the phone and fall asleep together, like whatever, which is cool, like if that's what you like. But we just always did what feels just natural to us, and what our own like individual personal selves need. You know, it's never been a supposed to thing for
Yeah.
us. No part of it, even as individuals, that's just not how we operate.
Yeah.
Like, we not contrarians as individuals.
Yeah.
Like, we not purposely going against the grain, but we are naturally people who just do our own thing. We not too concerned with what.
Everybody else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not even a little bit.
Yeah. So that makes me think then. So what was that initial conversation about? Like when it was like, are we gonna be monogamous? Are we?
Mhm.
What are we gonna do? What are we calling this? How
Yeah,
did that conversation go for y'all?
We never
we
had it.
never had that conversation. We were never boyfriend girlfriend
Mm-mm.
ever.
Okay.
When we decided to get married, it was birthed out of a realization that we just weren't gonna not be together. We just was like, hey, we probably, like, I'm really gonna stick with you probably for a long time. Like, I like you, you know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was birthed out of us naturally starting to plan a life together, where we kind of just looked up and realized, like, yo, like, we really plan to be together indefinitely.
Yeah.
Um, and full transparency, like, the marriage, like the literal official marriage, was out of the fact that we still live in a society that kind of rewards that. Like, when you think about, you know, government stuff, or like even the ease of navigating certain scenarios,
Yeah.
especially once you have children.
Yeah.
Of course, there are ways around all of that, whether you married or not. But um, it was really something where we wanted to be a united front officially.
Yeah.
But it wasn't necessarily tied to our desire to be together forever type thing.
Okay.
Because we was going to do that regardless,
Yeah.
you know?
I love that. That's powerful, guys. I love that. And okay, so with the marriage, was there like a proposal, or what was that conversation
That was also over text.
about? Okay.
Um,
Tell me about the text.
it was we was talking about having children,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and it literally just went from like, well, if we go basically have kids, we should probably get married. Okay, that was it.
That was the whole conversation.
That was
Like, no
it.
lie.
Yeah. I
Um,
love it.
but that's how every decision we make
Yeah, it's
has
just
been
so.
up to this point. Like, we've been married now for 4 years. Um, every decision that's like a major decision has felt extremely easy.
Yep.
It hasn't required any like back and forth. Are you sure? Da 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 da. Not internally. Not, at least not for me. Is no. We don't have that necessary like battle where it's like, I'm not sure.
It's
I
kind
don't.
of scary how easy it
Yeah.
is,
So
but
when we decided to get married, it was no different. It was just like, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
We should probably do that.
it was a
yeah,
no
that's
brainer.
literally how it went.
Yeah, it was a no brainer. Continues to be a no brainer.
Wow. That's actually, again, I like that because I think there's this conversation now that relationships have to be hard and you have to get through all this struggle. But I love that, obviously, y'all know who y'all are individually. Y'all are in a powerful relationship, marriage, and it doesn't seem like that was the case.
Mm-mm.
So
Nah.
were there any like challenges or adversities that you guys had to get through that you've gone through together that you can talk to me about?
You want to go?
You speak to it.
I would say that infertility issues. I think both of us, even outside of each other, we both desire to be parents, even before we met. Um, and like going through like IVFs and stuff like that, and me personally seeing her go through that,
Yeah.
because the woman goes through everything.
Yeah.
We don't. All we can do is show up and be supportive.
Yeah.
For me, that was probably the hardest thing for me, seeing her go through that. But I guess it took my desire of wanting kids out of it, just knowing she's okay. So like even a failed IVF, I don't even see it as dang it didn't work. Is she okay after this? And then after that, I'm like, oh, we gonna rock. As long as she okay, we gonna become parents one way or another.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as long as she good, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm about to cry.
Is it weird? I'm about to cry too.
No, no, because this is like
Yeah.
such a important part of our journey at this point.
Yeah.
Like literally, we just had another failed transfer like 2 weeks ago. You know, so we've been trying to conceive for years
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
and it's so difficult watching so many people close to you, you know, have children
Yeah.
and all that. So it's like in those moments or in these moments where it's like, dang, failed again, you know, failed again, or I got to do this again, do another test again.
Yeah.
It really is us. Like,
Yeah.
that's when you really see how much he grounds me. You know what I'm saying? It's in those moments where it's like I'm spiraling here. I need something to ground me, and literally all it is like a good hug. You know, it ain't even much.
Yeah.
It's not even the words. It's just like someone to physically be there for me that I know is also invested in the journey, and it's just made it so much easier to get through every step of it. Like knowing that, and knowing that we gonna be alright regardless. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that y'all have each other. You know, so I get that that's something to go through. Talk to me about. Let me shift gears a little bit, because one thing I will say about y'all are always on the gram. Okay, y'all are always traveling, always doing things. So how do you keep their relationship fun and exciting? How do you keep that spark?
I think like exactly that. Like I had a moment. Well, coming out of the pandemic,
Yeah.
I think we all got used to kind of just sitting at home.
Yeah. Yes.
I saved so much money
I did.
just being at the crib.
Yes.
Yes. We saved so much money. We got used to just posting up, not having anywhere to be, to the point where once we came out of the pandemic, it was kind of like, I'm going to just coast here. I didn't even know what it felt like to plan stuff. I didn't even want to put my money towards it no more. I'm like, I done got used to like kind of being rich a little bit. Like, right, I want to keep that. But it was a moment where I was like, when you look back on your life, and you think about all the happy moments you had, they probably wasn't sitting on the couch. You know, like I literally looked at him, I was like, we gonna get up like right now. Cause his dad is in his 70s, right? He sent a picture, posted up with his little girlfriend somewhere while we sitting on the couch like debating.
Contemplating if we going out.
Yeah, if we gonna go
He
to
was
this
like,
party
nah.
that I said we was gonna go to. He was like, no, we ain't gonna go to.
No way he gonna be out
No
in these streets
way,
if we not.
you know?
Yeah.
And so that was like low key a turning point for me because it was like, no, be outside. Like make new experiences. That's what makes your life feel long and fulfilled.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we stay intentional about having stuff to look forward to, experience wise, and that really makes all the difference.